It all started with an announcement that left many people speechless, and for good reason. Elon Musk appeared once again with his usual laid-back style, as if he was just going to comment on the weather, and dropped the bomb. The Tesla Model 2 is officially confirmed for 2025. The reaction? A mix of surprise, excitement, and that classic question that always lingers when Tesla is involved. What's coming next? And this time, what's coming is an electric car with numbers that border on unbelievable. 531 miles, 855 kilometers of range on a single charge and 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.17 seconds. That's right, an affordable car that goes from 0 to 60 faster than many high-end supercars out there. The big game changer with the Model 2 isn't just its raw performance, but what it represents for the market. For the first time, it seems Tesla is truly aiming to democratize high-performance electric cars. It's no longer just for those who can afford a fortune for a Model S Plaid or a Roadster. The Model 2 promises to deliver a similar or even superior experience in some areas at a much more accessible price. And that's where the surprise factor kicks in. How did they manage that? How can you maintain such a technical spec without blowing the budget? That's when Tesla's engineering magic starts to show. But before diving into the technical details, it's worth remembering how the idea of the Model 2 has hovered around for years like an urban legend in the EV world. There were rumors, leaks, incorrect analyst predictions. But now the mystery is over. Elon himself confirmed it, and even more. He revealed that the project is in an advanced stage, with a launch expected for the second half of 2025. What's most curious is that, even with all the anticipation, they managed to keep many details secret until the last moment. The Model 2's mission is clear: to combine Tesla's most advanced powertrain, range, onboard technology, and efficiency, but in a more compact body and with a much more aggressive price tag. In other words, to put a rocket on wheels in the average person's garage. And when we say rocket, it's no exaggeration. The Model 2's numbers place it side by side with models that cost 3 to 4 times more. It's as if Tesla is saying, "See this? It used to be for a few. Now it's for you too." Another thing that stands out is how Tesla is treating the Model 2 as a turning point. Elon even said it will be the company's most impactful vehicle since the Model 3 launch. And it makes sense. If the Model 3 opened the path to mainstream EV adoption, the Model 2 wants to turn that path into a 6-lane highway. After all, 531 miles of range changes the game. That means crossing entire states without stopping to recharge. That means saying goodbye to range anxiety, which still holds many people back from entering the EV world. And there's more. It's not just the range that's impressive. The acceleration also breaks every expectation of what an affordable car should be. With 3.17 seconds from 0 to 60, the Model 2 enters the elite list of EVs that play with gravity. Literally gluing the driver to the seat, it delivers sensations that were once reserved for those driving Ferraris or Porsches, but now, in a compact Tesla with a much friendlier price tag. It's almost like they're saying, you don't have to choose between speed and environmental consciousness anymore. Now that the Model 2 has shown what it's made of, it's impossible to ignore what's behind such insane performance. And the answer lies at the heart of the car. The tri-motor powertrain with 1,020 horsepower. That's right, the same concept used in the Model S Plaid, but now in a more compact, lighter vehicle focused entirely on efficiency and traction. 3 motors working in sync, like a perfectly tuned orchestra, delivering raw power with surgical precision. 1 motor at the front ensures traction and stability, while 2 at the rear provide that thrilling push everyone loves. But it's not just about raw power. The real secret is in how that power is distributed. Torque vectoring comes into play to adjust in real time the amount of force sent to each rear wheel. That means the car reads the curb before you even feel the steering pull, adjusting everything to keep your direction precise and your tires glued to the ground. It's as if the car anticipates your moves and reacts before you've even finished thinking. And the most impressive part? It all happens without noise, without jerks, without drama. Just pure, silent, stunning performance. The combination of the three motors delivers over 1,000 horsepower, but what truly stands out here is the control. Each motor is a permanent magnet synchronous type with carbon fiber wrapped rotors, allowing for rotations of up to 18,000 per minute. And it's not just about performance. This design reduces weight, improves thermal efficiency, and prevents early wear. While other electric motors start to lose efficiency at high RPMs, Tesla's motors hold strong, maintaining performance even during extended periods of intense use. This structure also enables greater energy efficiency, since less heat is generated and less energy is wasted. Just to give you an idea, each rear motor delivers between 340 and 350 horsepower, which adds up to over 700 horsepower in the rear alone. It's almost as if the Model 2 has two cars pushing from behind and one pulling from the front. That translates into instant acceleration, ridiculous stability, and control under any track condition. Yes, even in the rain or on tight corners. On top of that, Tesla nailed it with the cooling system layout. The combined motor setup can dissipate around 10 kilowatts of heat, meaning that even when pushing the car hard for extended periods, it continues delivering power without overheating. In other words, you can floor it without worry. And even so, it maintains that signature EV silence. No burning, no vibrations, and no begging for mercy. This is technology working in favor of the driving experience. The efficiency of the Tesla Model 2 isn't just a bonus. It's a core part of the project. And when we talk about energy efficiency, we're not talking about just any number here. The Model 2's motors operate at an impressive 94% efficiency, meaning that almost all of the battery's energy is turned into actual motion. Compared to the typical 85% efficiency of competitors, that's a massive leap. In practice, it's like the car takes every drop of electricity and uses it to the fullest, wasting almost nothing. It's the kind of technical detail that changes everything, from operational cost to the driving experience itself. This outrageous level of efficiency didn't happen by chance. Tesla fine-tuned every component of the motors and the cooling system to ensure minimal heat generation. And since heat is the main enemy of both performance and durability, this decision makes all the difference. With less heat, the motors work more consistently, need less maintenance, and deliver stable performance even after hours of continuous use. It also helps keep the car safer, as the risk of overheating is drastically reduced. The liquid cooling system can effectively dissipate between 3 and 4 kilowatts on the front motor and up to 10 kilowatts across both rear motors. This allows the car to maintain peak performance for long periods, even under heavy load. What's more, this thermal efficiency helps preserve battery energy, which directly translates into more driving range. In other words, while other cars are losing energy to heat, the Model 2 is turning it into extra miles of road. And speaking of roads, it's worth noting, this car surpasses 180 miles per hour, 290 kilometers per hour. It's hard to believe that we're talking about an affordable model. Most cars that reach this speed cost a fortune and require significant mechanical upgrades. But in the Model 2, this kind of performance comes standard, clean, quiet, and efficient. This completely reshapes the meaning of efficiency in an EV. It's not just about saving money. It's about delivering more for less, without sacrificing driving excitement. Another interesting point is how the efficiency of the motors adapts to different driving scenarios. In city traffic, for example, where braking is frequent, the regenerative braking system recovers energy during deceleration. This further reduces consumption and extends range without the driver doing a thing. On highways, the smart torque distribution and lightweight build keep performance high while using a minimal amount of energy to maintain speed. If the motors are the heart of the Model 2, the transmission is its nervous system. Simple, direct, and incredibly efficient. This is where one of Tesla's smartest choices comes in: a single-speed transmission. While many electric and combustion cars still rely on multi-gear systems, the Model 2 takes a different path. And it's not by accident. This transmission eliminates gear changes entirely, meaning continuous acceleration without jerks, delays, or interruptions in power flow. The result? A clean, smooth acceleration that few cars in the world can match. With a direct reduction system, the power generated by the three motors goes straight to the wheels. Without any time lost shifting gears, the car delivers all its torque the moment you press the accelerator. This explains how the Model 2 manages to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, in just 3.17 seconds. It's a surreal experience. You press the pedal, and in a blink, you're glued to the seat with the speedometer climbing fast. And all this happens in near silence, the kind of thing you have to feel to believe. This transmission uses a fixed gear ratio, usually around 9:1, which ensures the motor always operates in its ideal efficiency range. This not only boosts performance, but also reduces mechanical wear. Fewer moving parts mean less friction, less heat, and of course, fewer chances of something breaking. In fact, this is one of the highlights of Tesla's approach: reliability. No clutches, no multiple gears, no synchronizers. Everything works with a brilliant simplicity that reduces potential failure points by up to 90% compared to conventional transmissions. And when it comes to continuous performance, this transmission is a show of its own. Unlike multi-gear systems that suffer from small energy losses with every shift, often up to 2% per gear, Tesla maintains a seamless power delivery. That's crucial when the goal is to sustain high speeds with unwavering stability. For those who love hitting the open road or even having fun on closed tracks, this kind of response makes all the difference. There are no power gaps, no hesitation. It's full power from start to finish. Another golden detail is how this setup handles the monstrous torque of over 1,420 Newton meters generated by the tri-motor system. The single-speed transmission allows all that force to be delivered directly and precisely, without putting excessive strain on the components. This gives the Model 2 not just an impressive launch, but also strong and reliable acceleration at any speed. And the best part? It all happens so smoothly that the driver simply feels the car respond, without even thinking about how the machine is managing it all behind the scenes. Amidst all this cutting-edge engineering, one often underestimated component deserves the spotlight: the inverters. In the case of the Tesla Model 2, they're of a special kind, silicon carbide inverters, or SiC. It might sound like just another technical detail, but this kind of technology is what separates truly efficient electric vehicles from those that merely do the basics. Inverters are responsible for converting energy into motion, and in the Model 2, they do it with up to 99% efficiency. That's right, almost no loss at all. And in an electric machine, that kind of gain means more power, more range, and less heat. While most electric cars use silicon-based inverters with efficiency levels between 90% and 94%, Tesla went further and adopted silicon carbide, which is more expensive but delivers far more. With it, The Model 2 can convert battery power to motor energy with minimal loss, operating at 97% efficiency under normal conditions and peaking at 99% in ideal ones. This means nearly all the stored energy is transformed into real force at the wheels. And for a car that aims to be light, fast, and efficient, this completely changes the game. These inverters also operate at extremely high voltages, up to 1,200 volts, and currents of up to 600 amps. In practical terms, this allows the car to deliver that burst of instant power without hesitation or delay. The Model 2 doesn't need time to think before responding. It just reacts. And because the system is highly efficient, it also helps better manage the temperature of both the motors and the battery, extending the life of all components. Less heat means less stress, and less stress means more durability. Regenerative braking also directly benefits from this technology. When the driver lifts off the accelerator or taps the brakes, the motors act as generators, feeding energy back into the battery. Silicon carbide inverters convert this energy with even greater precision, optimizing recovery without wasting a drop. On long downhill stretches, for instance, the Model 2 can recover between 20 and 25 kilowatts, which translates to up to 20 extra kilometers of range per hour of mixed driving. And all of this happens without the driver doing anything besides driving. And here's a fun fact. This gain in regeneration helps reduce wear on the mechanical brakes since the car uses the motors much more to slow down. The result is that the brake pads last much longer. The braking system takes less abuse, and maintenance costs drop dramatically. It's the kind of silent advantage that only becomes noticeable over time, but makes a huge difference in your wallet and daily comfort. The driving experience becomes smoother, safer, and more economical, all at once. Now that it's clear how the Model 2 squeezes the most out of its energy, it's worth looking at how that translates into real-world consumption. And this is where most people's jaws drop. The car can travel between 4 and 4.8 kilometers per kilowatt hour. That might sound like just a technical number, but it changes everything about the EV driving experience. In simple terms, the Model 2 travels incredible distances with minimal energy. It simply does more with less. And that changes everything, from charging costs to planning long road trips. A full charge, based on a 150 kilowatt-hour battery, delivers an impressive 531 miles, 855 kilometers of range. And the most surprising part is how little that costs. In a typical scenario where electricity is priced around 0.75 Brazilian reals per kilowatt hour, a Model 2 owner would spend about 110 Brazilian reals to fill the tank. Yes, really, less than 0.15 Brazilian reals per kilometer driven. In comparison, gasoline cars average 0.50 Brazilian reals to 0.70 Brazilian reals per kilometer, making it feel like the Tesla runs on just a third of the cost. Over time, that adds up to thousands of reais saved each year. This level of energy performance also eliminates one of the biggest fears for those considering the switch to electric, so-called range anxiety. That constant worry that you'll run out of battery on the road. The Model 2 shatters this idea. With 855 kilometers per charge, it covers most inner-city trips in Brazil without needing to stop for a recharge. And even on longer routes, the time spent recharging is offset by fewer stops. On a 500 kilometers trip, for example, the Model 2 might not need to stop at all, while other EVs would need at least one recharge. And there's more. This optimized consumption doesn't come at the expense of performance. The car still accelerates like a rocket and maintains high speeds with stability. The difference is that while other EVs drain their batteries quickly doing this, the Model 2 keeps its range impressively high. That balance between performance and efficiency is rare. And it's what makes the Model 2 so special. You don't have to choose between driving fast and saving money. It gives you both. Regenerative braking also plays a major role in this efficient energy consumption. During downhill stretches, braking, or city driving where deceleration is frequent, the car transforms kinetic energy back into electricity, feeding it right into the battery. And this recovered energy isn't negligible. It can provide an extra 15 to 20 kilometers of range for every hour of mixed driving. In urban environments, where traffic tends to be more stop and go, this feature becomes a powerful ally, extending the vehicle's range without needing to plug in. You drive, and the car recharges itself. It's genius. Besides being energy efficient, the Tesla Model 2 also impresses with something everyone loves to hear. It's virtually maintenance-free. And that's not just a sales pitch, it's a result of how the car was designed from the ground up. It has 90% fewer moving parts compared to a combustion engine vehicle. And fewer parts mean fewer things that can break, fewer trips to the mechanic, lower repair costs, and more time enjoying the road. It's the kind of car you buy and almost forget what it's like to constantly replace parts. The transmission, for example, has fewer than 20 components. That's an absurd reduction when compared to the 200-plus parts typically found in a traditional gearbox. And if you've ever owned a manual or automatic car, you know those systems are always prone to issues. Clutches, torque converters, synchronizers, all of those can fail. But in a Model 2, they simply don't exist. The result? A system with 99% reliability over more than 300,000 kilometers. In other words, you can drive for years without worrying if the transmission will give out halfway through a road trip. The silicon carbide inverters, in addition to being highly efficient, are also extremely durable. Tesla designed these components to last over 1 million hours of operation. That's right, 1 million hours. That's enough time to circle the planet several times. They're built to withstand heat, heavy use, and still deliver top performance after years on the road. When you combine that durability with the energy efficiency of the motors, you end up with a car that practically takes care of itself. It's built to last. And that brings massive peace of mind to anyone thinking of investing in an EV. And it's not just the powertrain that's robust. Even the brakes have extended longevity. Thanks to the regenerative braking system, the car slows down using the motors instead of relying heavily on the traditional brake system. The result? The brake discs and pads last significantly longer. In some cases, drivers report going over 100,000 kilometers without needing to replace the pads. Imagine that. Years of driving without even touching the brakes. It's the kind of hidden savings that quietly adds up, becoming a huge relief to your budget over time. Another major advantage is the complete absence of oil changes, air filters, spark plugs, belts, and all those other parts you constantly have to deal with in a combustion engine. In a Model 2, those things simply don't exist. That not only cuts costs, but also reduces the time your car spends off the road. No more wasted mornings in auto shops or worrying about complicated checkups. The maintenance cycle is lighter, less frequent, and way more affordable. And let's be honest, that's a huge relief.